breaking news coming in, some sad news to share. We're learning this from the New York Post, several other outlets reporting this as well. Virginia Giuffre, the most prominent victim of the late convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, took her own life on Thursday. This is just weeks after she made headlines for saying that she had days to live after she claimed to have been hit by a bus. A statement given to NBC News was quoted as such from the 41-year-old's family. It says, "It's with utterly broken hearts that we announce that Virginia passed away last night at her farm in Western Australia. She lost her life to suicide after being a lifelong victim of sexual abuse and sex trafficking." The New York Post says that Giuffre took legal action against billionaire financier Epstein in 2015, alleging that she was sex trafficked at age 16 after his ex-lover and convicted madam, Ghislaine Maxwell, recruited her from her job as a locker room attendant at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. The mom of 3, according to the Post, also alleged that she was forced to have sex with disgraced Prince Andrew 3 times when she was 17.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm sorry about the audio, guys. I'm sorry about the audio.
Including at Epstein's Little St. James Island in New Mexico and Little St. James Island in New Mexico and in Maxwell's London home, where a notorious photo of her with King Charles' eldest brother was taken. The Post says the allegations became the biggest scandal to rock the royal family in a generation. Again, hearing of the sad news just within the past hour, Virginia Giuffre, the most prominent victim of late convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, taking her own life on Thursday.
And this is just so odd to me because I remember this lady. I remember the press conferences. She was like the face, of like the victims. Like it was said that other people came forward because she came forward because she had the courage to come forward. And that was damning. Epstein, Prince, what's his name? Andrew? Prince Andrew. And the weird thing too, the crazy thing, because she had made this post. Now, this was in 2019, just to keep it, She made this post, and at first I thought maybe this was fake, but this is her actual Twitter. Oh, I just lost it. She reposted this tweet. Oh, here it is. This is her Twitter account, her X account. Founder of Speak Out, Act, Reclaim, nonprofit aimed at educating and advocating for victims. And she had made this post that I'm making it publicly known that in no way, shape, or form am I unaliving. I have made this known to my therapist and GP. If something happens to me, in the sake of my family, do not let this go away and help me protect them. Evil people want to see me quieted. This was in 2019. So they are saying now that she had gotten into some accident with a bus. I think her car. I want to try to find out more details about that. She lives in Australia. And let me see here. They were saying she got into a car accident about a week ago. Okay, she had a car accident. In the weeks leading up to her death, she faced significant personal challenges, including health issues following a car accident and legal issues regarding a family violence restraining order. I want to know about that. She had recently disclosed health issues following a car accident and was going through a custody battle with her estranged husband. Her death, though under investigation, is not considered suspicious. So she got into a car accident, and they told her supposedly she has a couple of days to live. Let's see, I have the article. I want to see if I can find that article with the
Top story.
Couple of days to
Virginia
live.
Giuffre, the woman who accused Prince Andrew of sexual assault, has died at the age of 41. In a statement given to our US partner NBC News, Ms. Giuffre's family said she took her own life. They said it is with utterly broken hearts that we announce that Virginia passed away last night at her farm in Western Australia. She lost her life to suicide after being a lifelong victim of sexual abuse and sex trafficking. They go on to say Virginia was a fierce warrior in the fight against sexual abuse and sex trafficking. She was the light that lifted so many survivors. In the end, the toll of abuse is so heavy that it became unbearable.
What's crazy to me, so she got into this car accident and she had been discharged from the hospital a week. She discharged from hospital a week after being involved in a car crash and posting on social media that she only had days to live. Why would they discharge her? Why not? I don't know. The Western Australian said Giuffre had been discharged on Monday from Sir Charles Gardner Hospital in Perth, that's Australia, after spending 6 nights there. She said she only had 4 days to live on March 30th. Giuffre said in a post March 30th that her car had been hit by a school bus. She uploaded a picture of herself with bruised and battered face alongside the details of the crash, and she said she had renal kidney failure. However, Western Australia police raised questions about Giuffre's original post after issuing a statement casting the incident as a minor crash with no reported injuries. What the hell is going on? Towards the end of last week, Giuffre's brother said injuries described by his sister were not necessarily linked to a car crash. So the brother said something else. In an interview with People magazine published on April 5th, her brother Sky said Giuffre never stated in the bus accident the cause of all her injuries. Nobody ever said her liver issues or kidney failure were ever from that. We still don't know if it is. I'm not a medical professional. It's up to her doctors. Giuffre had been charged with breaching a family violence restraining order just days before the crash. What in the hell was going on in this woman's life? With a hearing due April 9th. Giuffre is reported to have separated from her husband, Robert Giuffre, and posted pictures of her children on Instagram March 22nd, saying she was missing them. Prince Andrew paid millions to settle a civil sexual assault case with Giuffre, who he claimed to have never met. She sued him for allegedly sexually assaulting her when she was 17 after she said she was trafficked by Giuffre. Andrew denied the claims, but he paid her millions. That's strange. The one thing, I don't want to pivot too far. Dono, let's see, Echo, I believe that Dono said he's been researching. I believe that, but where were her parents for their minor daughter? I wonder that too. Yeah, I wonder that too. Dono, it's like the R. Kelly thing with these parents. You know, I don't know what's going on. All these kids, I guess they were seeking fame. And it made me think about Shannon Sharpe a little bit. Not to go off the deep end to that when we're talking about this, but the criticism that he had gotten, well, there was a lot of criticism, but like the offer that he gave her $10 million, why offer $10 million that high of an amount? It makes it seem like she has something there. So back to this guy paid millions, I guess, to kind of just hush it and keep it moving. This is the pic. Let me show you the Instagram picture, by the way. Let me show you the Instagram picture. This was her post with the bruising. This is really all strange. Like the way I'm sitting here now and like reading some of this stuff. This is the post of her with the injuries. And she said, this year has been the worst start to a new year, but I won't bore anyone with the details, but I think it's important to note that when a school bus driver comes at you driving 110 kilometers, How fast is that? That sounds pretty fast. As we were slowing for a turn, no matter what your car is made of, it might as well be a tin can. I've gone into kidney renal failure. They've given me 4 days to live, transferring me to a specialist hospital in urology. I'm ready to go, just not until I see my babies one last time. But you know what they say about wishes. Shit in one hand and wish in the other. And I guarantee it's still going to be shit at the end of the day. Thank you for all being wonderful people of the world and for being a great part of my life. God bless. Wow. This was 3 weeks ago. She took her own life today. All those in the comments who bullied her, made fun of her, made light of her situation should be utterly ashamed. Wow. So the bus thing is strange because it almost seems like they couldn't corroborate it, or they're saying it was like a minor accident. There was no injuries reported. That's what the police said. So we're if that didn't happen, or if it did happen, it was very minor. Where did she get all these bruises? There's something going on in that family that's not being said that a lot of us don't know about, because we had this restraining order. Why was there a restraining order? And they say she violated. Maybe it was with the kids. Been charged with breaching a family violence restraining order. So Giuffre has called Perth home since 2020, living in the Ocean Reef suburb. She lived on a beachfront property with her husband, an Australian she met in Thailand in 2002, and their 3 children. And police are describing this incident, the bus incident, as a minor crash. On April 1st, Western Australia police characterized the incident on March 24th as a minor crash between a bus and a car, adding that the collision was reported by the bus driver the following day. Most notably, the force said that while there was damage to the car, there was no reported injuries as a result of the crash. Police further clarified that the car was driven by a 71-year-old woman and a 41-year-old woman matching Giuffre's age as a passenger, though they did not confirm Giuffre's involvement. So there was 2 people with her in the car. It was her and somebody else in the car. But she didn't report the accident, apparently. The bus driver did the day after. Acting Western Australia Police Commissioner Kylie also told reporters, "We have no report of any serious injuries." A family statement from the Giuffre appeared to respond to this the same day. It said Virginia was banged up and bruised and returned home. Virginia's condition worsened and she was admitted to the hospital. Well, the Western Australia Public Transportation Authority told the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, ABC, that they were unaware of any school bus crash. The East Metropolitan Health Service, which oversees Royal Perth Hospital, where Giuffre was believed to be a patient, told ABC that Giuffre was not in any of their facilities. On April 2nd, the bus driver involved in the incident told Mail Online, "The driver basically pulled out in front of me. I made sure she was all right, and when I went and did a police report." That's really weird, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. So some more like the stuff that Giuffre was dealing with. Okay, so she took to social media saying she has 4 days to live. She was ready to go, but needs to see her children. She was locked in a bitter court battle with her estranged husband, Robert, who in December 2023, she hailed on her Instagram as an amazing man who rescued me from Epstein and Maxwell's clutches. She was charged with breaching a family violence restraining order in Ocean Reef near Perth. Her case was first heard by the Joondalup Magistrates Court in northern Perth on March 14th, where she did not enter a plea. The matter was adjourned on June 11th for a plea hearing, according to Western Australian courts, while her agent said at the time that Giuffre looks forward to defending herself against Robert's malicious claims. So her and the guy are having problems. Custody battle. My beautiful babies have no clue. Wait, did she post this over here? Where did she post that? Oh, here we go. My beautiful babies have no clue how much I love them, and they're being poisoned with lies. I miss them so very much. I have been through hell and back in my 41 years, but this is incredibly hurting me worse than anything else. Hurt me, abuse me, but please don't take my babies. My heart is shattered every day that passes. My sadness only deepens. So, well, I don't want to show the kids really. I was trying to find a picture of the hubby. There's a picture here. Let me show this here. Oh, the ex. This is her estranged husband. I shouldn't say hubby. This is the estranged husband who she was having problems with. I guess he was taking the kids from her. That's what I'm saying. There's definitely something going on that we don't know about, I think. And she's a woman that's been through a lot of stuff, it seems, right? It seems like, and you would think she'd be living really well with the money that Prince Andrew had paid her. Wow. And then on March 30th, she posted a picture of herself claiming she'd been involved in a serious road traffic accident on the bus. She said she got kidney renal failure, 4 days to live. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
For Virginia to handle its weight. Well, Matthew Thompson is here with me. Matthew, morning to you. Remind us who Virginia Giuffre was and tell us what we know about her passing.
Sure. So Virginia Giuffre was, I think, perhaps the most outspoken, certainly one of the most outspoken of the critics.
Yeah, you kind of have to start side-eyeing some of this stuff because it's like, okay, the Giuffre death was suspicious as hell. I think it was suspicious. Some people might not think so. I think it was very suspicious. And now this woman, the same... I mean, I don't know how she did it, but she's deceased. They're saying she did it to herself. Whose blustery day? One cannot be admitted to the hospital without medical conditions. Yeah, they're saying she was admitted. But then the police are saying minor injuries.
And campaigners against convicted paedophile and billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein. But in particular, I think most relevant for a UK audience, she also alleged that she had been sex trafficked to Prince Andrew by Jeffrey Epstein when she was just 7. But then in recent years, recent months even, it seems as though she had become estranged from her husband and her children as well. You might remember just a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago or so, there was a widely shared Instagram post in which she said she'd been in a car accident that had left her with a few days to live. And then the circumstances of that seemed to be slightly questioned by the Australian authorities, who seemed to say that the accident hadn't been that serious. And then here we are, as I say, 3 weeks later, and clearly the tragic news that she has taken her own life. The incident has been investigated by the authorities in Australia, who say that there's no suspicious circumstances, but clearly a tragedy, and there are well wishes pouring in from all around the place. You've heard from her family, we've also heard from her lawyers as well. She was only 41 years old.
Indeed.
That's crazy, man. And I was thinking this morning when I was I was reading, I heard about this last night. And then I was thinking this morning, I was making my cup of coffee and thinking about the live stream in Virginia. And I feel like, I don't know, the older I've gotten, the more I've become more aware of my mortality. And I feel like you just, I don't know, you start realizing or paying attention more. You just start seeing all those people around you pass and die. It's like, holy shit. You don't know, you just start kind of looking around, and that's why you got to be grateful, because you just never know, man. You know, when your time's coming, or somebody's going to come and take your life. Either way. I wanted to show, she had tweeted, she was somewhat active on X, a little bit. But she had tweeted, look at her, I guess this is a picture of her, and what it looks like her, Bill Clinton. Jeez. And she replied under a post where this person here said, Epstein survivor, Virginia, told me Pam Bondi's FBI files are not good enough. They're just her public court documents rehashed. And that's what I felt like too. I feel like this whole thing, I feel like all of us were hoodwinked, you know, like just kind of like smoke screened. Oh, we're lit. These files are coming out, and you know they had this whole thing happen, and these influencers there, and holding these binders, and it was kind of a mockery. That's what makes me think more. There's got to be some names on there. There's got to be some people. They just don't want this out. These Epstein files, the rest of them or whatever.
I talked to Virginia Giuffre, who was the one who accused Prince Andrew of raping her. And, you know, she's just said that these are basically her court documents made public. It's rehashing old material. It's flight logs that we've already seen before. It's, you know, the little black book. It's a lot of information that's already been in the public domain. I have 2 podcasts on Jeffrey Epstein. I've gone through these files. There's not much new in there. She says that when she went to the FBI's offices with her lawyer, Sam Pottinger, that she saw videos caches. She saw photos that she had to confirm were pictures of her, and they've never been released to the public. And she thought that at least that would be released.
And she wanted that to be released.
Yeah.
And why?
Because it's disappointing to them. They want this in the public domain. They want the Epstein story to be told. They feel like a lot of people are out there basically skirting justice, really powerful people who have been allowed to get away with spending time with a pedophile and molesting young women. So, yeah, she said it's not good enough. I talked to Virginia.
All right. Yeah, I do know the audio is bad. I have to fix it after this, so sorry about that, guys. I'm going to have to... I already launched it live, so I figured I'd do something brief and just finish the topic. But I'm very, very suspicious. Very suspicious, this whole thing. Feel bad for the lady, you know.
I was so young. Ghislaine woke me up in the morning and said, "You're going to meet a prince today." I didn't know at that point that I was going to be trafficked to that prince. And then that night, Prince Andrew came to her house in London, and we went out to Club Tramp. Prince Andrew got me alcohol. It was in the VIP section. I'm pretty sure it was vodka. Prince Andrew was like, "Let's dance together." And I was like, okay. And we leave Club Tramp, and I hop in the car with Ghislaine and Jeffrey, and Ghislaine said he's coming back to the house, and I want you to do for him what you do for Epstein. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that even royalty were involved. I was so young.
Virginia Giuffre did not kill herself. Take a look at the bushes in front of her house. They have grown them to a very tall height to avoid anyone seeing the abuse that is happening in that house. As you look around the entire house, every single prominent window is covered by a tall tree. That is not for shade purposes, that is because Virginia Giuffre is being beat up. Take a look at the site of the crash. She claimed that that caused these bruises, but that's not possible because everyone at the crash says that the crash was very minor. The police report said no major injuries, no significant injuries at all. So what exactly is causing her to get these bruises? Well, I can tell you it is the same person who just took her life. And the show that we're going to do on Monday, Untamed Nation, go subscribe right now on Rumble, click the notifications. At 4 p.m. Eastern Time will be the biggest show we've ever done. I'm going to play all of the footage.
Okay. I think that's it for now. I don't want to torture you guys with the audio. I'm gonna spend some time after this stream and try to fix the audio. I don't know what happened because I thought I fixed it and it was working last night when I was gaming, and then I wake up today, I assumed it was working. I should have done a check, and it's not. So I'm gonna spend a little bit of time and try to tweak out, see what's going on. See what's going on with the audio. All right. But appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see what happens today. Rest in peace, Virginia. And I really hope that they do a thorough investigation and people really look into this. And it looks like she had a lot of personal stuff going on too, you know. I mean, I guess like everybody else, but it seemed like she was dealing with a lot of turmoil and maybe not able to see her kids. And I wonder what was going on in the last couple of years of her life. And it's weird, all the the police saying, "Oh, it was just minor injuries," but then you see her post a picture with all these black and blues, and her post from 2019 that I wouldn't unalive myself, and then now, oh well, she unalived herself. What the? Yeah, Sarah, I'm gonna restart it and see. I'm gonna go back and listen to this live stream, and then I'm gonna restart the computer and see. I can figure out what's going on. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for your patience.